Hello back. Let's work a little bit more specifically on the calf here and show basically to explain the perspective that we can see here. You have the calf here, you have the calf, then you have the thigh. But actually don't want to get too involved with the thigh because it's about the calf here. Then you have the lower part of the calf, and then you have the foot, which actually, so I'm enlarging it just to illustrate that part of the foot, or from the kneecap to the foot. And you have the foot here, there we are, and toes obviously, and the one here, the last one, and having a calf here. I would personally, so it's all about perspective. It's to see that the foot is it's closest to us, closest to the camera, and the calf further away to the camera, or at least a little bit further away from compared to the foot. So give it a darker tone to the whole thing. That warms it up a little bit in the sense that you don't have that cold white paper here. So this is the thinking behind getting it dark around or on the whole limb. So basically calf and foot. So give it a darker tone of value, and as the light comes from the right, then the darks are on the left hand side. Here we have it, here, and lighten it up with your finger or with your putty rubber if you wish. But I think finger is good enough, at least for the time being. Don't want to go too bright at the moment. Then you have the calf itself there, and a little bit of reflected light down here. There. So that gives a roundness of the calf. And obviously the shin, which we don't see because it's on the lower part of the calf, but we know it's there. And give it a darker tone of the thigh. The thigh above the calf. And here where I have the light, that line which separates the calf from the thigh, it's a bit more visible. So that line here, the lines here are kind of more blended with the flesh tone of the upper of the thigh. There. So a little bit darker here, or emphasis on that line. That's it. And the foot itself, a darker tone, but not too dark either. There. And highlight here on the right hand side of the foot. As I said, the foot is the one closest to the viewer. And the little toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the big toe here. So a bit more of a zoom of the work that we're doing here. Zooming in onto different parts with a new series that I'm starting to create a little bit more of a detailed approach of different limbs, parts of the body. Yeah, the foot, and that side here, and we have now you can give some more, let's say you can make the foot a little bit more detailed I don't want to put too much tension to the foot, in the sense that there's not much to draw here. There are no wrinkles here. There's no specific likeness, but still, you can make it more detailed if you wish, and again, not to lose that reflected light of the calf. And soften that area here. And maybe drop the sheen a little bit down, lower here. There. And here. There we are. A little bit more separation from the calf and the thigh. And maybe a little bit more precise with those lines here, especially the outlines. 4. They're squeezed there, so it's like they're fighting. It's almost like they're fighting for space. Little toes here. I would also soften those lines as not to be so dark and so defined. And possibly bring the toes a little bit lower here, there, low, and the big toe a little bit, also a bit lower. Give it a middle tone. There we are. So a bit more detail on specific parts of the model. Next time will be hands. Next time will be hair, foot, and perspective, profile, things like that. Well, I hope that helps. See you on the next one.